have the table. We have it upside down like always we do to make it easier to build it. This is for the 9006 series. We have these, this is what comes with it. This is the ball joint that will connect the foot of the machine with the foot pedal that is installed up here. Okay, we have the power switch to make it on and off. We have these 4 screws that it's gonna hold the actually box. This is a direct drive machine. That's why you don't see any holes here for the belt. This machine don't use any belts. Here, this is very important also. When you order the machine, make sure you get these, because these boxes are 220 volt. So you need, this is called 110 voltage converter. This is how you make the machine into 110. So you could use it at home with a regular outlet in your house. Okay, this is the box. Everything is loose. It's not attached or anything. I'm going to connect everything. I'm going to show you how to do it exactly everything correct. And then we go from here, okay? We have just marked the 4 corners where the screws are going to go. So I'm going to move it out so you can see. We made these 4 marks. This is what we're going to insert the screws that go with it. I'm going to make a hole now, and I'm going to show you the bit that we use for that. Just drill it 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the screws are going to come from the bottom like that. So this is the back side of the table. This is the actually top of the table. So the screws are going to come and show like this, and that's going to hold the box. We have the hole. We just made the hole. Now we're going to insert the screws. Important for you to remember. Now these holes, you want to put the screws one at a time. You can't just put all the screws and then make it more tight. We're going to put 1 screw first, put the washer, put the nut, then we align it with this one, and we do the same to all the 4 holes. Now we put the screws on the front. Now we put the screws on the back. As you can see, you could push it back and forth. So you got to be careful when you drill in the holes. You don't want to make a big mistake, because they will not fit the hole, and then it's a big problem. You want this to be just right, so you can push it back and forth. The only adjustment we have here is to push it to the front or to the back. You can't push it left and right. So that's why you want to be some sort of a precise when you're making the holes. You can see, you can push it in a little bit, or you can push it out a little bit, but you can't go left and right. So this is, like I said, now you can make everything tight. You see how we have 1 inch here and just about, maybe ½ inch, 3/4 over here. You don't want to be too far, and the reason why I said, remember the wires are going to come through here to connect into the box. So you got to make sure that don't get too far away from that hole, okay? And back here, 1 inch straight. Then we're going to make everything tight. Ball joint with it, like you see. We're going to connect the bottom ball joint with the top ball joint together. Like I said, they got to be straight just to get it a nice fit. This one has 2 clamps on it to make it more secure. It's not a cheap machine, so, Juki gave you 2 clamps to that. So when you set it up, you want to make sure that this is nice and tight. Finish installing the box. We tighten up everything. We have the ball joint, like I said, straight, nice and straight. So when I'm pressing on the foot pedal and actually activating the control on the box, you have a pin here for cutting and one for bar tacking. That's, we'll explain you that later how that works. So you see, activated, box is set up. Now we're going to proceed, and we're going to install the power switch to make it into 110 volt, okay? 110 converter that I explained you before, we're going to need it, but I'm going to show you when we get to that point. Now we're going to just go ahead and connect the wires to the switch to make it into power switch. We match the colors, white and white, black and black, red and red, and the green color on the ground. Now I'm going to proceed and install it into the table. 110 voltage, as you can see. You have 2 wires on the ground here. And if you look at the computer wire that comes out, remember, we installed 4 wires over there in the front. But here, we're only going to be using 3 of them. You got 4, but if the machine is 220 voltage, you're going to need 4 wires. But right now, what we're going to do, we're going to cut the red one here. We're just going to cut it off and use the black and white for 110 and the green for the ground. Remember, you need to cut these wire here to be able to use it as a 110 voltage. Remember that, that's important. Cut the red wire out, just use these 2. So you're going to take the switch and you're going to have the black and the white here, either side, doesn't matter. And then the green is going to go on the back with the ground over there, okay? Very, very important. Black and white on the front, green one in the ground. Cut this one off. This needs to cut out to be able to do 110 volts. I have finished setting up the switch in the front. I'm going to use this fillet here, the small fillet. There's 4 screws, 1 here, one here, and 2 on the bottom. You want to lose those 4 screws out, and you want to take the belt, and you want to take the cover of the computer out. Now that you have the table upside down, you could do it after, it doesn't really matter, but I like to do it now. It's easier for me to do it now, so I'm just going to proceed and pull it out, being gentle, because you don't want to lose these 4 screws that hold it there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You don't want to lose them, okay? So just put the box somewhere. Remember that you're going to flip the table over, so remember to move it away from the computer, okay? So I want to show you, you remember I mentioned to you before, this is what makes the machine into 110 volt. You have 3 wires here, as you can see, 1, 2, and 3. And this is the one we're going to replace, the one on the corner right here, on the right corner right over here. This one we're going to replace this. This one has 2 wires only, 1 and 2. I'm going to replace it with the one that has 3. I'm going to show you how to replace that one with this one, so you make the machine into 110 volt. Okay, using a Phillips screwdriver, I'm going to lose this part here. I already make it a little loose, but I'm going to take the top screw out just to make it easier. I take the screw out and put it on the side. You could take both of the screws if you want. I'm just going to take one screw out. So remember, like I said, you have 3 wires in this one, and you have two wires in this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect it from the bottom first. Then here, this is a clip in there. So I already make this loose. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to pull the clip off this one. Okay, I got it out. You see? It's out now. So you have one that has 2 screws. I mentioned this many times because people get confused. The one that has 2 wires, this one is going to be a 220 volt. I'm going to replace it with this one. There's no way for you to mix. This is pretty standard. It only go one way. So once you push it in, you go to the bottom and you also connect it. It only goes one way. You can't miss it. You can't go wrong. You can't, it's just like a computer wire. You only go in one way. Now I'm just going to go back, put the screw in there. I'm hoping Juki will make these a little different. This is not the easiest way to do it, but this is the only way for you to actually change the voltage on the machine from 220 to 110, okay? So I already finished tightening this up. Now with this wire in place, all connected, I'm sure that I got a good connection on it. It's not coming out. Now I finished with this box. Okay, we just finished changing this wire, like I said. Now the box is into 110. I'm just gonna put this aside because I'm not gonna use it. Now that I have finished setting up the box, I have all the wires, I got all the plugs here. I'm gonna connect everything. Now I'm gonna proceed. I'm gonna switch the table over and then install the head, because later you're gonna need to connect all the wires here, okay? The table here now, and I'm gonna take the machine out of the box and install it into the table. As you can see, there's no holes in here for the whole. Now the machine into the table, as you can see. Now I'm gonna proceed and put the hinges on it. This way we do a little different because the machine is too heavy. Now that I have the machine sitting on the table, now I'm gonna proceed and put the hinges on. We make it like this because this is a little heavy machine, and you definitely don't want to put the hinges on before, because it might be a little problem for you to then line them up. But once you put the machine in, just let it drop and put the hinges back on, and that's it. Ready to proceed to put all the wires that you see here, all these wires. We're gonna proceed and we're gonna put it through the hole one by one. Don't force it in. Do it one by one, just like we're doing it right now. You do one wire at a time. All the wires on this side, as you can see, we pass everything through. Now we got all the wires on this side. Now the first thing you want to do, and you don't want to forget about that, is to hook up this here, the ground first. Some people really don't matter. You could connect it to that one there, or you connect it over here too. It doesn't matter. It just needs to be connected. This is the first thing you want to do. Connect the wire to it, okay? This is the first wire we're going to connect. We're going to take this one and we're going to connect it right over here. It's just like a computer plug. Just hook it up. Okay, we have this one in first wire. We're going to go with the next. You got to put it through here and then connect it right over there. Otherwise, if you don't do that, when you're going to put the cover, it won't work. This one has the blue colors and it goes in there. So you can't really mix this. This is just like a computer. I keep repeating that, but I want you to remember that you can't mix up the wires. You only will connect it to the specific plug that it was made for. So make sure you match all the wires exactly the way it's supposed to go. This one has a red dot on it, like you see. It goes with the red right over there. Then the next one has it's white, and they all has number 2. This is CN22. This is CN21, and it matches with the CN21. So you can't really go wrong. Just make sure you follow up all the plugs. You're going to find each one of them. It's going to be empty. Each one is going to be connected exactly to the one that matches the plug. This is for a pin, so you can't miss that one either. Goes right into the over there. You see, now we use that. It's a title that comes with it here. We have finished putting all the plugs. There's 9 of them that you gotta connect it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plugs that you connected. Then remember this clamp here. You gotta make sure you put it through here. Now we're gonna proceed and put the cover back in there to cover everything up. Okay, nice and easy. We got the screws in there. We're gonna make it tight. There's 4 screws, remember we took off before. We're just gonna put the screws back in there and ready to go. Now that I finished setting up the machine and everything, I got all the wires connected. I'm gonna use that oil. Remember, this is this machine is a semi-dried head, so make sure that the oil you put in there is just fill out this little block. Put it in there, and you have 2 lines. You want the bottom line and you the second line. You want to fill it up to the second line. Okay, I just finished setting up the machine now. This is a Juki 9000 CFMS. So it's a little different. 2 different classes of the 9000 Juki. As you can see here, this is a touch screen. This is the difference between this machine and the 9000C. I'm going to show you. This is a touch screen. See, here you have the screen. It's a touch screen. It's a little bigger screen also than the 9000C only. So it's 2 different machines. Basically looks the same, but they're different with the touch screen. Like I said over here, you have everything is touch. You could select or unselect any stitch that you want. Everything with the computer right over here in the center of the screen. Here, when you turn the machine on, this is what you're gonna see. The screen's gonna come up. Like I said, this is all touch. It's pretty simple, you know. It show you everything. Machine is on now. You just select it. In here, you have these buttons that you see here on the front. You got the bar tacking for the machine to go back and forth. You could turn it on. You could turn it off. This is the beginning of the bar tacking. This is the end of the bar tacking. Here you have the stitch length. How far the stitches one from the other. Okay. Going back to the stitches. Now you have this is the height of the presser foot. Here you have the button to deselect or to select the machine to cut and not cut. Whatever you want, you can select it here. Here is your speed control. Right now it's set up on 2,800 stitches per minute. This machine is capable to do 4,000 stitches per minute. Right now, you're gonna have 4,000 stitches per minute. And this control here, if you turn the machine off and you turn it on while you're pressing the I button on, you keep that one pressed. Now you're gonna get a different screen. With that screen, it's gonna get all the other functions that you could record it on this machine. Got a lot of different options here, the BCD data, the data, everything inside the back panel. It's set up here when you start the machine pressing the I button. You could go one by one, it doesn't matter. You could just select and check them out. You're not gonna hurt anything. It's just gonna show you all the steps that you could do if you want to make some special patterns on it, okay? So that's number 1. You just turn it on. There you go. Turn it back off. Standard standard. Now your machine is gonna come out back again with the regular sewing screen. Just press select. The machine is ready to go. Everything, it's full lifting. It's automatically. It's an auto lift. You could adjust it up and down if you want. And you stitch in the machine. Machine will automatically cut beginning. When you finish, it will back tack for you. So it's a pretty cool features that this machine has, you know. Needle down, needle up, whatever you want. You could do all this stuff. But like I said, this is important. You go in here and it show you everything here. Sometimes when you get this machine, you might get a different screen. So when you turn it on, just press the I button on it. And you're gonna go back to the regular sewing motion. All right, this is it. Machine is pretty much everything else the same. The bobbin winder here, just a standard bobbin winder. The machine's LED light, everything is there. So for watching again, Robin from City Sewing New York, www.citysewing.com. Bye-bye.